All right, that was a lot getting ready to record. Now we're going to get into recording. So here are just some quick tips for what you want to look out for when you are recording. And I'm mentioning noise again. This should stress the importance of audio. You want to keep background noise at a minimum. So try to find a quiet room away from street and foot traffic. If you live in a place with a lot of other people, maybe find an area out of the way. I've seen professors record amazing lectures in a closet. They like hung a really nice sheet behind them, but they were like, this is the most quiet place in my house. It's the only place I could get away and make sure like you couldn't hear footsteps all the time. Or record your lectures during quieter times. I actually created some instructional materials at the beginning, in the middle of last year, and I live on a really noisy street. So I actually waited until nighttime. I waited until about 9 p.m. because at that point everyone was home, there's no more traffic, and I knew I'd be able to record my entire video without having to stop for car horns and for people yelling at each other and for helicopters. And again, to reiterate, the quieter your space, then the less work your microphone has to do to try to eliminate background noise. The clearer your voice is, the better your captions will be. Another idea is to script out your talks. If you're maybe nervous speaking in front of a camera, which I definitely am, you might want to either script out whatever you're going to say. So if you're just giving a welcome message to the course and you're not quite sure what you're going to say, or even if it's an entire lesson and you're a little nervous, you can script out the entire thing, put it into a Word doc, and then put that Word doc at the top of your computer or wherever your webcam is. And I know I've probably sounded a little nervous during this talk, but I have had this entire talk scripted out and it has been up at my webcam. So in case you haven't noticed, I've been reading off that script this entire time, and I'm going to continue to do so for the rest of this lecture. Lastly, avoid dates and course titles. And this is something I've seen a lot. One of the reasons you're putting all this time into creating videos is to maximize their shelf life, maybe using it next quarter or next year in a different course across multiple disciplines, wherever you're going to teach in the future, and you might kind of get the urge to want to put the date at the front of the lecture. But if you do that, now you're going to have to go back and edit that out the next time you want to use it. So the least amount of identifying information in your course, the better. If you're specifically for this course, you can put the course code maybe, but I'd even say just put the title of the subject and start in. So that way you can reuse this lecture again and again without having to then go back and swap out slides, swap out introductions, and just really make sure your students aren't looking at it going, how come that date says, 2 years ago? Is this an old lecture?